strongly advise that you exercise the following simple due diligence measures to secure your property. Ensure that the property is fenced off at its boundaries to prevent squatters, trespassers, illegal entry or encroachment by third parties. Inspect the property from time to time, stay up to date on any suspicious developments on the ground. Assign a responsible deeded caretaker or overseer, preferably one who is a member of the local community, to keep a lookout on the property if you do not intend to commence development immediately. Always consult a registered surveyor or as properties officers to assist in vehicle sitting and boundary verification whenever unsure. And consult a registered surveyor to assist with site beacons and verify boundaries before you commence development on your property. And ensure that you obtain written statutory approvals before commencement of development works. Now, Horizon Properties will not bear responsibility or liability for any squatters, trespassers, illegal entry or encroachment on the property by third parties beyond the conclusion of the sales transaction. They therefore advise all their customers to exercise and apply the above measures as much as possible to avoid being inconvenienced. We now listen to a presentation by Dr. Sokyo Mpindi, CEO from Horizon Properties.
Good evening, listeners. Welcome to this evening Property Focus program brought to you by Horizon Properties. Greetings from our team and Happy New Year. Welcome to 2026, the year of real estate investment for you and us. This evening, we are happy to be here and to discuss or present to you Zambia real estate market outlook and review of market trends from 2023, 2025 and the outlook of 2026. It is my privilege to address you this evening, customers and the public, on the trends, market trends in our sector, to give you an understanding and for you allow you to make informed decisions during your investment journey. For years, our mission has been to provide clear, data-driven insights into the Zambian property market, to empower the citizens, the Zambians and the investors alike. This evening, we stand at the start of 2026, an election year. Under the improved economic climate, we review the transformative journey from 2023, analyze the pivotal trends of 2025, and provide an outlook of the year ahead of us. Our review and analysis is in 4 parts. Part number 1, macroeconomic foundation, from stabilization to growth. The real estate sector does not exist in a vacuum. It is a direct reflection and a critical component of the national economy. The period from 2023 to today has been defined by Zambia's successful navigation of a debt crisis and the implementation of a disciplined economic program, creating a new foundation for growth. Number 1, resolving the debt overhang. The cornerstone of recent stability was the successful Eurobond restructuring concluded in May 2024, which reduced the country's debt burden by approximately 40% in the present value terms. This critical relief, coupled with ongoing agreements with official creditors under the IMF Extended Credit Facility, ECF, has shifted Zambia's debt trajectory from a state of distress towards stability. This success has demonstrated and restored international investor confidence, unlocking vital physical space. Number 2, economic growth and fiscal health. Following the severe impact of the 2024 drought, the economy has rebounded strongly. Real GDP growth is projected to reach 5.8% in 2025 and accelerate to 6.4 in 2026. Quickly speaking, this growth is being supported by revenue-led fiscal consolidation. The government's fiscal deficit, that's the cash basis, has narrowed significantly from about -8.5% of the GDP in 2021 to projected 5.3% in 2025, with public debt falling from a peak of 133.4% of the GDP in 2023 to the projected 6.94% by 2027. This disciplined approach is essential for long-term stability. Number 3, inflation and currency stabilization. As noted, inflation and the kwacha has stabilized since 2025. After a peak driven by drought and global factors, end of the year inflation is projected to decline from 16.7% in 2024 to 11.1% in 2025, and further to 7.9% in 2026. I'd like to mention that the Bank of Zambia, as commitment to tight monetary policy, has been central to this achievement. A stable currency and controlled inflation are fundamental for predictable construction costs and long-term investment planning in real estate. And number 2, we look at the real estate market's response, resiliency, and structural challenges we are facing. The improving macroeconomic story has begun to filter into the real estate sector, yet our market continues to be shaped by deep-seated structural challenges that we identified several years ago and which remain unaddressed to date. Number 1, persistent capital constraints. The single greatest bottleneck of the Zambian-led real estate development is the prohibitive cost and limited availability of capital. While the policy rate stabilized in the past, commercial lending rates for mortgages and construction financing remain exceptionally high. This aligns with the continental-wide challenge, where in sub-Saharan Africa, less than 5% of adults have a full mortgage due to the stringent criteria and high interest rates. For Zambian developers and aspiring homeowners, this creates an almost impossible barrier, confining significant development to those with access to foreign capital or substantial personal equity. Number 2 challenge, the infrastructure gap and budget linkages. Real estate is fundamentally an infrastructure-dependent industry. The development of service land with roads, water, sewer, and electricity infrastructure is the essential first step. While the national budget allocates funds to sectors like roads, water, and sanitation, a direct and targeted linkage for this infrastructure spending to unlocking specific housing and development corridors is often weak. Developers are frequently forced to bear the prohibitive cost of providing off-grid services, which increase the cost of the project by 20%, and ordinarily this cost now goes into makes the product housing expensive. A more strategic and coordinated approach between national budget allocations and local development planning is very critical. Number 3, market dynamics and foreign participation. The residential sector continues to show strong underlying demand, driven by urbanization and growing middle class seeking modern amenities. However, the high cost of capital distorts the market. This fuels the dominance of foreign investors in commercial and large-scale residential projects, as they can secure cheaper financing offshore. Conversely, it reinforces the trend of incremental and self-financed construction of single housing units by Zambians, which while commendable, is insufficient and inefficient to close the national gap and housing gap deficit at scale. Part number 3, we look at the 2026 outlook, regional outlook in an election year. Entering 2026 together, the real estate sector stands at crossroads, influenced by both cyclic opportunism and persistent structural headwinds. Number 1, cautious optimism from improved fundamentals. The successful debt restructuring and the positive IMF reviews have without doubt improved Zambia's economic outlook. This enhanced credibility is a powerful magnet for foreign direct investment. We expect continued interest in sectors tied to the economic recovery, such as industrial logistics, for mining and agriculture, and potentially in commercial projects in Lusaka and Cabo Verde. Investor sentiment is cautiously positive. Number 2, election year dynamics. Historically, election years introduce a measure of policy uncertainty that cause investors to adopt a wait-and-see approach. The key for the real estate sector will be the continuity of the core economic program, maintaining fiscal discipline, controlling inflation, and advancing structural reforms. Any sustained deviation from this path could quickly erode the hard-won confidence. Yes, one of the critical factors, risk factors investors look at is the economic stability, and looking at the stability of the policies, and when there's an election, the investors will want to hear what the new government is saying. Number three, critical need for sector-specific reforms. Macroeconomic stability is a necessary condition, but it is not sufficient enough to ignite an inclusive real estate boom. From growth to be meaningful, Zambian businesses and citizens in 2026 need targeted interventions. For example, 1, innovative financing models, exploring of public-private risk-sharing facilities, support for alternative lending models, and the development of the secondary mortgage market to increase liquidity for home loans. Point number 2, strategic infrastructure alignment. A reform mechanism is needed to ensure that the national budget allocates funds for infrastructure to deliberately used for funding to use deliberately to unlock land for housing and industrial development, reducing the burden from individual developers. Proposal number 3, policy predictability, ensuring that regulations governing land, construction, property investment are clear, consistent, and applied transparently, protect all investors. What is our advice to investors? Part number 4. What is our advice to investors in 2026? In this environment, success requires strategy and patience. Real estate remains a powerful vehicle for long-term wealth creation, but it is not a short-term speculation. The key factors you should consider: number 1, political and policy stability. Monitor the election cycle and post-election policy announcements for continuity in economic management. Access to capital, fully qualified financing, explore partnerships and stress test projects against sustained high interest rates. Infrastructure, prioritize projects on service land or in areas with clear funded public infrastructure plans. Market fundamentals, focus on sectors with clear demand, that is affordable housing, logistics, properties in well-connected urban areas. What is the message? What is the idea to service? I have no doubt that your participation is vital and critical. Start by educating yourself. I'm not saying go to school. I'm saying seek for information that can be used to make decisions. Secure your title. Build incrementally. Incrementally build consistently within your means until you achieve your objectives. Consider joint venture groups to pool resources. The market is improving, but it requires your informed and persistent engagement. In conclusion, the Zambian real estate market in 2006 is built on a firmer economic foundation than before. The darkness of the debt crisis has been shifted, leaving the path for growth. However, the sunrise will not fully reach the real estate sector until the persistent shadows of expensive capital and inadequate enabling infrastructure are addressed. The opportunity for transformational growth is real. It calls for concerted effort from the government to bridge the gap between macroeconomic success and microeconomic reality in our sector. And from the financial aspect of it, the financial industry must innovate to have products that are attractive and affordable. For the discerning investor, armed with research, patience, and a focus on fundamentals, 2026 is the year of opportunity, and it can yield results. Let's build the future with confidence and clarity. Thank you very much.
Lusaka is among the fastest growing cities in the southern region. Did you know that a city expansion creates non-scarcity, which presents opportunities to bogus and fake entrepreneurs? Did you know that Horizon Properties has been diligently selling genuine affordable residential plots and farms to the public for over 20 years? Yes, Horizon Properties is a trusted name and the #1 buyer's partner in affordable residential plots and farms on track record spanning over 20 years. Remember, buying land from just anyone can be risky. Buy cheaply, buy cheaply from Horizon Properties. Come visit our head office in Woodlands on Chilo Road, right opposite Woodlands 8 Primary School. Kablonga Shopping Complex, shop number 8, Chilo Road, Lusaka. Lusaka Town Center on the alley behind Lusaka Hotel. Contact our Kablonga office on 0211-260422. Our town office 0211-226902. Horizon Properties.
You're listening to Property Focus Radio program brought to you KDC for Horizon Properties. Now joining me in the studio this evening are Mary Adrian, who is the Sales and Listings Coordinator. We also have Derek Atongo, Sales and Projects Officer, and we're also joined by Lutanda Kahuta, who is the Sales Executive, all from Horizon Properties. Gentlemen, good evening to you, and do welcome the program.
Good evening, Nono, and thank you so much for having us tonight.
Okay, your reaction there to the doctor's presentation?
So much has been said in this presentation, and a lot of data there that, of course, people need to take a listen and pay attention to. And for those listening that may have a few questions, or those that maybe joined in midway, you're free to ask questions by sending us an email to info@thehorizonproperties.com. So if you joined in this midway, you can as well go to our Facebook page, which is Horizon Properties Limited, and catch up on the presentation. And also those that may want to also maybe add a voice to what Doc, of course, was trying to present. You're surely welcome by sending us that submission to info@thehorizonproperties.com, and we'll gladly, of course, respond to those submissions.
All right, thank you, Adrian. Let's delve a little bit into the Horizon Green Village, and I'd like obviously Derek, who's an expert in that field, to help us with a few nitty-gritties. Now, Derek, what is the concept of planned living in relation to the Horizon Green Village development becoming more important to buyers today than just owning land? Because I mean, anyone can own land anywhere, but there has to be something special about you, first of all, owning land in the Horizon Green Village?
Yeah, indeed, no, I think there are a lot of issues that we can mention when it comes to planned settlements. So when you look at planned settlements or developments such as the Horizon Green Village housing development, you realize that people are not just buying land there. Okay, they are buying the quality of life, they are buying because of the security, they are buying because of the long-term value that the development actually possesses. So when you look at a green village, obviously people are looking at what kind of a gated communities this that is coming up. Okay, what is the vision behind it? What kind of life that people live there? So you realize that people that are buying into the gated community, these are people that are of the like mind. Okay, people that treasure and protect the environment, people that firmly believes that they have a role to play in terms of combating the effects of climate change, and also these are people that appreciate modern living, but obviously bearing in mind that they also need to actually continue to coexist with nature. So that is the quality of life that people actually are buying into. Okay, so when you get to the site, you realize that these are people that are coming together because they have actually bought into the vision that Horizon Properties actually has put forward there. Okay, because this is a gated community that obviously is anchored on something, like what I've always said, it is anchored on sustainability, modernity, as well as affordability. Okay, so a lot of people that come on board, we are taking time to explain behind what is it that Horizon Properties is trying to actually come up with in the Horizon Green Village. So the quality of life is very important. You look at security. Okay, is this place secure? Because even just in our local communities, compounds where we come from, usually you find that you are looking for a house to rent. No, you first ask, how is the security situation in this kind of area? So you realize that when people are buying, more especially in planned settlements, security is actually one of the main reasons why a lot of people now are opting to actually go for planned settlements such as the Horizon Green Village because of the security aspect. Another aspect that I mentioned, I said, obviously the long-term value. Okay, so when you look at unplanned settlements, the value, okay, the appreciation of the value of properties, mainly it's unpredictable because obviously there are different factors that separates planned settlements and those that are not planned. So you realize that when it comes to the long-term value of property, obviously people always go for the planned settlements because they are looking at what they tend to benefit in the near future. Another point that I would like to obviously make mention is people that are thinking of long-term investment. Usually they always go for a planned settlement. Okay, so the Horizon Green Village is one of those viable projects that people are actually looking forward to in terms of investment, because obviously when you look at a green village, you realize that it is a gated community, or it's a community that is actually being developed by different professionals. Okay, so you're talking about doctors, you're talking about teachers, you're talking about nurses, you're talking about entrepreneurs. Different people from different facets of life are actually buying into the gated community. So when you are actually buying into the green village right now, if you are thinking of a long-term investment, the green village is actually an opportunity for you, because you realize that, for example, you can buy, maybe you are buying 2 plots, you buy 2 plots in the green village, you want to put up something for rentals. Okay, in the near future, you are not going to look at which class of people would be attracted to my apartments, because obviously different professionals will be within the gated community, and maybe at that time Horizon Properties won't have any more land to sell within the green village, won't have any access to any plot. So what do? You actually step on board and be able to actually make money, because obviously you have already different people looking for accommodation within the gated community. So if you are thinking in terms of a long-term investment, the green village because of how it has been structured, how it has been planned, you actually stand to have a lot of value to your property in the near future.
Derek, I will give you an opportunity to finalize your points. We need to get to the headlines at 19 hours. Do stay tuned.
FM. The heat is on. Yo, baby. Yo, baby. Baby, Yo Baby Diapers, brought to you by Yo Care Hygienics.
Government says it will soon clear over 119 million kwacha in arrears for the first phase of the tax program. Solicitor General Marshall Chimpe has reaffirmed the government's commitment to creating a business-friendly environment by limiting laws and regulations that hinder investment interests into Zambia. A 43-year-old bus driver of Janda Bus Company, identified as Brian has died after the bus he was driving collided with a truck along the Lusaka Road. In international news, the Rwandan government has launched legal action against the UK to seek payments it claims it is owed under a scrapped migrant deal between the two countries. And in sports, Aston Villa has agreed to re-sign former midfielder Douglas Luiz on bail.
The station that speaks your mind. No filters, no fakes, just pure fire with top tier presenters. Hot FM at 20. The heat is here.
Real property merchants offers proficient, time-tested real estate services to all property buyers and sellers. Are you selling or letting? Looking to buy or lease property? We sell and let residential, commercial, and industrial properties, farms, and small holdings throughout the country. Our client is offering tailor-made services to meet the unique needs of each client, coupled with innovative, effective marketing tactics for each property. Before you buy a property from them, check if Horizon Properties doesn't have it at a cheaper price. Come and experience the proficiency that makes Horizon Properties stand out from the rest. Tried and trusted to deliver to its customers' expectations. We have offices in the following locations: Woodlands Head Office, in Kablonga, and the alley behind the Saka Hotel. Horizon Properties, the real.
Welcome back. You are listening to the program here at UJC Horizon Politics. Now, before we got to the headlines, Derek was there, giving us more of a concept of strategy in relation to people who would like to actually move to the Horizon Green Village. Derek, we can continue from where we left off.
Okay, so my last point was to do with those that are thinking of long-term investment. So our call to them is that the Green Village, it being a planned settlement, it actually possesses a very huge return on their investment if they can actually invest now, because planned settlements are actually ideal for those that are investing for the future. Be it you are building apartment for rentals, you are buying because maybe you want to resell, you are buying because you would actually want to have your residence there. So you realize that planned settlements always have that opportunity for people to actually take advantage, because they are mainly ideal for long-term investment. Because as time goes by, planned settlements actually becomes even more ideal, because it attracts a lot of investments, a lot of people to invest into such areas because of the investment potential that the planned settlement possess. Another point that I would like to make mention, Nono, is that planned settlements always present an opportunity for those that are seeking to actually live a great lifestyle and also modern living, because you realize that even in our setups where we're coming from, in our respective areas, there's always some areas that are referred to Kumayadi. And when you look at Kumayadi, always there's one thing that is common. The planning aspect is actually not missing in those areas. Where we say Kwa, obviously, those are actually unplanned settlements in most cases. Anyway, so those are some of the examples that actually we can refer to. No. But obviously, when you look at planned settlements, modern living and lifestyle, okay, there are areas that are just known to say, okay, this area is full of doctors. This area is full of, these are bourgeoisies of this world that we know. So you realize that planned settlements are known for such kind of things. And for the Green Village, people can actually take advantage of the Green Village now, because this is a planned settlement that just started not too long ago, but actually presents an opportunity for those that would actually want to buy plots at a very affordable prices. Because when you look at the pricing structure known right now in the Green Village, it does not speak to how the Green Village is right now, okay? Because a lot of people that would have actually been listening to us right now, when we're telling them to say a 20 by 22.5 plot is actually just going for 120,000 kwacha. And we understand, if you haven't been to the Green Village, you may be thinking to say, oh, obviously these are just plots and things like that. But this is a gated community where security is already on site. People that have finished building their houses have moved into their houses. Those that are still building actually are building, and they can't wait to move into their houses. We're looking at other services such as water, electricity, already that those infrastructure actually have been put in place. So this is a gated community that we are actually talking about, not just mere plots. Okay, so if you want to take advantage of the affordability on our pricing structure in the Green Village, the time is now. So you are getting a 20 by 22.5 at 120,000 kwacha. Then you also, if you want a much bigger portion, you can actually get a 30 by 30 plot going for 228,000 kwacha. Okay, in case others that are listening are wondering whether we do have a payment plan or we do actually give some discounts. Actually, we do give discounts. If you want to pay a outright purchase, we actually give you a discount on your purchase. If you want to pay under a payment plan, you feel you can pay something, then you actually finish up the balance in installments, we do have a payment plan. Or what you can do is just come to the Horizon Properties offices. We have offices in Kablonga town as well as Woodlands. Those that may not have time to come to our offices, you can actually reach us through social media, and you can actually be able to schedule an appointment and secure yourself a plot in the Green Village. Maybe last, because of time, I would like to make mention that planned settlements, always it's a guarantee for the development of the neighborhood, okay? Because you realize that the ripple effect that comes from planned settlements, even gated communities like the Green Village, we have always mentioned, this is a community that will have at least over 10,000 residents or people living within the gated community, okay? But when you look at the impact economically and also just socially within Chongwe district, you realize that the effect that will come from the Green Village, it will actually impact even the neighborhood that is there, because gated communities such as the Horizon Green Village always have an effect on the surrounding areas. So you realize that it will attract even investments, not just into the Green Village, but even the nearby areas. So if you are looking for an investment, the Green Village is the area that you should consider. In case you are listening to us and you want to view the Green Village, please give us a call on 077-9707-215. I'll repeat the number, 077-9707-215. That number is on WhatsApp. That number you can actually send us a direct text, or you can call us, and we'll be glad to actually take you on site and just for you to experience how the Green Village is coming up.
Okay, Lutanda, let me bring you in this segment. Now, we often hear that some properties obviously don't stay long on the market. Do you have any hot listings that listeners need to rush and buy currently? I know we're still in January, but probably the last